And good morning. It is Thursday. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Good to see each and every one of you as we get up and, well, we face another day. Big show lined up at 7 o'clock. Make sure that you're here. We'll go over any and all things that happened in the last 24 hours in the communities. Currently 77, but it's not going to remain that way long. On the way, we've got rain. We're going to get to somewhere around 93. The heat index will reach 102 and expect a lot of rain over the next, say, 48 hours as we start moving into tomorrow with these storm chances of this tropical depression type system that's moving through the area. We're going to get some rain from it as it makes its way by here. We'll look at all of this on radar in a moment and show you where that is. And Dexter is who he is. We'll discuss all that up and coming in a few moments here. Hope your day is going well for you. It is already Thursday, as I mentioned there. Love Out Loud will continue today. We'll be telling you about where they will be. Free groceries continue. I went to a block party last night in downtown Marion. A lot of fun. Hope you can make it to some of these events. We'll be right back. Let's go on out to Collinsville now. Let's get our message of the day.
Recently, a friend of mine had to be admitted in the hospital because her doctors discovered she had low blood. To help with this, she was given an infusion of blood and iron. This infusion helped replenish what she had lost over a period of time. And without that, her condition would have worsened and she would have become even more ill. She is now recovering and regaining her strength. The Apostle Paul says in Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." This is one of the most quoted and imprinted verses from the Bible that you will ever see. I've even seen several people who've had this verse tattooed on their bodies. It is a great verse, and it is a verse that needs to be understood in context. Paul says this right after he talks about being content in any and all situations, whether he has plenty or nothing, whether he is hungry or well fed. He has come to know that he can go through any of life's circumstances as he depends on the strength that only comes from Christ. Notice Paul says, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." That word "gives" carries the meaning of giving an infusion of what we need. God infuses us with strength through Christ that sustains us through any circumstance. The idea here is dependence on the right source for what we need. As believers, we stand in desperate need of the sustaining power of Christ in every area of life. May this verse be much more than a wall decoration or a graphic on a t-shirt. May it be a declaration of dependence upon a God who gives us all we need. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We do hope you're feeling well and your day is getting off to a good start. Odie's on a very important mission for us right now, the coffee pot.
Amen.
I got an amen from the first row to the right. A wildfire, and I meant to mention this yesterday, but we should go over it today. A wildfire has destroyed a historic Grand Canyon Lodge on the North Rim. They have closed that area for the season. Due to that, there's been a wildfire raging for a couple of days as firefighters have been attempting to get that put out. A small plane was hijacked in Vancouver, the British of Columbia. One person, one suspect, rather, taken into custody. You know, that's just something you don't hear much about anymore, is hijackers. I can remember as a kid during the late 70s and early 80s, that was pretty common. And then you had to call in Chuck Norris and Delta Force to get them off the plane. That was a good show, by the way. Just don't make them that way. But you truly don't hear that much about that. A plane crash has happened in the remote area in Washington. Olympic National Park is where this took place. One person is confirmed deceased and two more were injured in this crash. And again, we hear more and more about plane crashes and what goes on now than we ever have. It's amazing how that information highway changes from time to time. This will be the first like this, and this has been lingering since 2002. No matter how you slice this, a child was murdered. Now, we've heard of people that lose their cool when a child won't stop crying. Do you know what I'm talking about? And I know there's been a lot of people arrested through the years to where they would shake a child. Well, this one got out of hand. His name was Robert Robertson. In 2002, he shook his daughter to death. It has now been cleared for his execution date. They're going to be setting that pretty soon. It's going to happen in Texas. It was blocked upon time as they got ready to do this. But those days are over. The pathway is coming. A sentence will soon be happening. We'll find out when that date is. And again, it's going to be in Texas. Most likely Huntsville is where that will take place. She would have been 23 years old, wouldn't she? Had that not happened. For the life of me, I've always heard as I was growing up, people that would say how time will get quicker. Didn't make sense then. A month becomes like a day at some point. A decade can fly by, can't it? Use each day wisely is my point on all of that. Nothing happened here, but when you see something, I think you need to report things to prevent things that happen later. Did I just confuse everybody? Let's go to New York City to where, a small accident happened. The driver of the van jumps out and leaves it. Well, that's happened before. Usually it's because, they got a criminal past and they don't want their driver's license run. This is a little bit different. It's what they found in the van. It was a white panel van. The driver fled the scene, and what police discovered was propane tanks and gasoline in the back of the van. Was there going to be something else? It sure sounds like it, doesn't it? Now, again, nothing happened. Maybe it was an intervention. We'll word it that way. It was near Times Square, New York City. I'm glad whatever happened didn't happen. I don't know how this will work out. This has been mumbling in the background since Trump took office. He's been trying to get the feds to lower the interest rates. It really hasn't much been done. And he is telling lawmakers now, I'm most likely going to fire the Fed Chair Powell soon. Probably best that he doesn't. It would be nice if we could get those interest rates down. We'll watch this and see what becomes of this. Now, this is all allegations of what I'm going to tell you next. Is it a disgruntled employee? I don't know that. Former police commissioner of New York City, Thomas Dolan, has accused the administration and the New York City Police Department as a criminal enterprise. He says it goes all the way to the top. It's ran just like racketeering. Eric Adams, the current mayor of New York, says it's just all because he's disgruntled. Is it? We don't know. It's most likely going to head to court, and we'll see. A lot of people, he's just after taxpayer money, a buyout. Could be, but he may know more than we know. We'll see if that smoke becomes anything with that. There's one thing, we often all have to travel somewhere. Do you go in your car? Do you prefer an airplane? Let's admit it, the airplane is just so much quicker and you're not near as tired once you land. But there's one problem with going through this. Now, what was it, last week, the week before last, they made it to where you no longer have to take off your shoes and do that little one-legged dance and fall over. They're finally doing away with that. They've got better x-ray equipment is what that amounts to. But Kristi Noem says you're going to be carrying less. Now, you already were carrying less, and what I'm talking about is shaving cream and gels and things of that nature. They're going to make it to where you can only carry less. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've been at an airport and they're throwing everybody's stuff away. I don't know whether they donate that to anyone or not, but do I get it to one degree? Yeah, there are bad people out there, and they sneak chemicals on planes or try to. And so the smaller amounts helps out with stopping all of that. The bad news is after you went and spent what is that, $7, $8 now for a bottle of deodorant? Probably. Things are expensive. Watch what you carry. Is it better to drive? It may be. Taylor Swift, we think of her and her father as we see this. He's recovering from quadruple bypass surgery. Man alive, that's very sore for him. We do hope that everything works out for them there. What else do we have? This reminds me the banana? Do you have some oceanfront property in Arizona? Do you have a banana on a wall you'd like to spend $6 million on? I don't get it, but I guess there's people that collect these things. The largest piece of rock from Mars just sold at Sotheby's, if I pronounce that correctly, for $4.3 million. $4.3 million for a rock. What you going to do with it? Am I wrong, or is it such a hobby that really is, there's people enthused over that, and I just don't get it? Maybe I don't have that rock collecting trait.
You ain't got enough money to have to worry about no rock collecting.
Okay, here's something else that I think possibly taxpayer dollars was wasted on. Like, I read this and I realize maybe there's a fraction of people in the world that care about this, but the rest of us are going to go, who cares? They've recently, Odie, you may want to plan your next vacation. They've recently discovered where large dinosaurs done mating dancing. Oh, yeah. They say there's claw marks. And they would build fake nests to show the female what a strong dinosaur they were. Now, they've spent a lot of money tracking this down so that you would know this.
What an imagination.
Now, again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know what this means or why this would influence anybody's life now. Does that really matter to where they scratch the earth?
Yeah.
Is it really scratching the earth, or is it somebody trying to justify their job? I mean, if I was a dinosaur hunter, I'd have to come up with something every once in a while to show that I've done something. You see those marks in the ground? They danced here. 2 cents on that. A heroic act ends in tragedy as a father drowns, saving 5 people from rip currents in South Carolina. He gave his life for others. Now, there'll never be a stone that recognizes him for his bravery, but he's got a reward waiting somewhere else for that. It's touching. It really is. We see that 1 person is dead and 13 injured after being struck by lightning in New Jersey. And boy, did we have a lightning show here last night. It was something else. I stood in the yard and I watched it probably for 15 to 20 minutes. Just to the east of me, all heck was breaking loose as the rain poured down. Y'all saw that, didn't you? Some of you were in it. I often say, here's the tweet of the day. And this may fall under that. It's a post, it's a tweet, but it needs to be recognized. There's some people that get caught up in the world of, I have a piece of paper behind my name. And this comes from Mike Rowe. Do you know who I'm talking about? The guy from Dirty Jobs. He's often the pillar of the community that rallies for the working man, that blue-collar guy. Well, the blue-collar guy often makes a whole lot of money. And let's turn to what Mike Rowe has to say this morning. He puts, we've been telling kids for 15 years to learn code. What does he mean by that? Well, AI is coming for all of the coders, is what he says. It's not coming for the welders. It's not coming for the plumbers, the steam fitters, the pipe fitters, and the HVAC, or the electricians. He says, in Aspen, I sat and listened to Larry Fink, and he said we need 500,000 electricians in the next couple of years. The Blue Forge Alliance, who oversees our maritime industrial base, that sees over 15,000 individual businesses, collectively, they said they need 140,000 workers within 2 to 3 weeks. There is nothing wrong with learning a trade in life. And we're learning this to where AI is replacing a lot of people that learn code on computers. And, well, they don't, I'm not running them down. That was a choice they made in life. But so many times we've overlooked that guy. Remember the song Alabama had? 40-hour week for a living? There's nothing wrong with getting your hands dirty and doing what you love. It was frowned upon for a while. Mike Rowe has been pushing this for quite some time. We are short on that. I know absolutely nothing about an air conditioner. except when it breaks, it's hot. And it's worth its weight in gold for that guy to come fix it, isn't it? Computers, be careful. AI is taking a lot of jobs. We do need to know the basics. That's what Mike Rowe has to say this morning. I went over this. I read this 4 or 5 times. There's a video of this guy getting an interview. I was telling someone the other day, I can remember it's weird how you remember where you are when you hear a story. I was on 35th Avenue at the corner there in front of 45th Street, 35th Avenue, in front of Northcrest Baptist Church. There had been a shooting, and I had covered the shooting. I remember standing on the corner talking about it. As I ended that, I got a text from like 10, 12 people. Trump had been shot. So we went back on to inform everybody what we knew. It was a breaking thing. A CBS News correspondent who was there. This is part of the interview of this. We got to toughen up. I mean, truly. CBS News correspondent Scott McFarland told in an interview to Chuck Todd that he got PTSD after a Trump assassination attempt. Now, okay, maybe you got scared from the gunfire. Well, he says it wasn't from the shooting, but because the crowd blamed the media. He says, quote, I got diagnosed with PTSD within 48 hours. I got put on trauma leave, not because I think of the shooting, but because you saw in the eyes the reaction of the people. They're coming for us. So you got PTSD. I'm going to let you figure out how to take that. Have we gotten so weak that we get scared by the look of others' eyes? It was a crowd. Hardly anybody moved. They watched. They waited. I've seen the tape over and over. But anyway, you take that how you want. That's what he said. You interpret it into your own terms. Sarah Huckabee. She's the governor of Arkansas. We've been following stories that she's been doing for quite some time. She signed this, and now, well, it's been backed up. Federal court says Arkansas can enforce the ban on critical race theory in classrooms. Arkansas has done that. Sarah Huckabee led that path on that. You may have to, what do you say, clean your ears when you hear this one?
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is changing his stance, believe this or not, on immigration. He says he supports deporting people who are just undocumented. Bernie Sanders flipped as he gets on this. If you are a drug dealer, if you are somebody in this country undocumented or has committed a crime, I think most people think, hey, have a nice day, get out. Something going on there. Bernie normally doesn't flip. I've said this before about Bernie Sanders. I remember watching him, 10, 12 years ago that he ran for president, and he made all these claims. And I watched and I thought, there is no way anybody could support something like that. Next thing I know, the entire party had adopted what he said that I thought was so radical and made it a norm. As I look at this one, the way it was written was the Senate narrowly approved a $9 million budget clawback. It's a cutback. At the end of the day, remember, it passed. It's going to be cuts. There's people jumping up and down this NPR thing. And I read so many articles about, and that's National Public Radio. A lot of this funding is going to be cut out. It is very left of center. I'll leave it at that. Oh, you remember the high-speed rail that so many millions was spent on in California? Funding is going away for that. Here's something that I didn't even realize she existed. I didn't know the guy. Remember Comey? I didn't know he had a daughter. Did anybody know that? Well, she's been fired. The Department of Justice has fired Maureen Comey. She was the prosecutor in the Sean Combs case, which did not work out for her. And also, she was a part of the Ghislaine Maxwell case. She's been fired. Huh. And honestly, I didn't know he had a daughter. That caught me off guard. I didn't see that one. What else do we have this morning? Trump is calling on Israel this morning. He's asking them to investigate a terrorist killing of an American in the West Bank. We hope he does. Now, at this point, Coca-Cola is not answering. Anybody see the comment Trump made yesterday? He is saying that they're going to put cane sugar back into Coca-Cola products. Now, that tastes way different, and it tastes way better.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola dodged the question when they were asked about that. What do y'all think? Will it happen? I know this. Be careful you ever make it to Atlanta and you get to Coca-Cola World and they let you taste all that. You go, ah, what is that? It's firewater. If it's, I really don't understand that. If it's got Coca-Cola written on it, by golly, make it Coca-Cola. Maybe it's foreign countries won't allow certain ingredients. I don't know. But I don't like the rest of the world's. Ours is the best. Bring back that cane sugar.
Help fight crime.
Help fight crime. I can remember as a little boy them talking about, and this was like long before me, that I grew up in Scuba, Mississippi. It's a very, very small town.
Y'all had Coke?
Yes, we did. We had Frost Drug Store, and I'm told that through the years that you could go down there. It was out of the fountain before they actually bottled it. You know, you could get it out of the fountain before all that became fancy and all of that. And they always say that it made you feel really good. That original recipe. I think it might have had. It was allegedly had that extra spice in there. We'll be right back. We're going to check your forecast next. We got a lot coming up this morning. Stay with us. You'll enjoy the show. We'll be right back with that forecast.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Welcome back. As we look at our forecast this morning, let's go to radar first because it's going to be hot today. Let's take a look at this. I couldn't find my button. It just kept moving on me there. As we look at this up in the northwest corner here, as we get up into the Mississippi Delta, it's going to be extremely warm. As we look at that purple there, it's extreme heat warning. Now, this will go as far down as Starkville over to Kosciuszko that we've got heat advisories out today. Don't be shocked if we get this later today. We're forecasting the Meridian area anywhere east of Jackson to be at around 102 to 103. As we go to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, what is going on here? Well, that green would be an aerial flood watch as we wait for Dexter to come across here. Look at this rain that's involved with all of this. We're going to have showers in the area, so something to think on. And let's get back and get a little bit further into our forecast now and let you know exactly what is planned for the day. As we pull up and we look at our record highs and our record lows, back in 06, 102 today. Back in 87, I had just graduated, hadn't I?
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounded bad. It was 61 today. Blank forecast from Jackson. It'll be okay. They hadn't sent one in weeks. We go to Alabama. We're showing 91 there, 94 in Tuscaloosa. Birmingham should be 94. Even in Montgomery, a nice 94. Nice and hot there. This is what we're expecting here with this heat stress this week as we go to the outskirts there as we go into Lee County and back toward Jackson. Again, it's still going to be warm here, and this is subject to change any moment. As we look at the nation, look at how hot Mississippi is. Tennessee's a little bit hotter. You better be wearing your short shorts up there. As we get into our forecast today, we'll see about 91 here to 92, depending upon where you're standing. 60% chance of rain, most likely after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, again, we're looking at that heat index to be 102. Get you one of those do-rags that you get wet and put around your neck. It'll help you there if you got to be outside. We're increasing rain to 80% chance by tomorrow. It'll decrease to 50% on Saturday, down to a 40% chance as you go to church on Sunday. We still got it all the way through Wednesday. Let's go another 7 days to July 31st. And you guessed it, rain chances each day, the least amount coming in on the 25th there, but slight afternoon shower chances each day there. As we go to our fishing forecast, go out to Clarkdale Super Red. Major times to fish today begins this afternoon at 5:40 till about 8 o'clock. We'll push it that far there. Right at dark 30 should be good. A minor chance at 12:30 to 1:30 today. As we look at sunrise, it just happened at 6 a.m. Sunset will go all the way until 8:01 p.m. That's a quick look at our forecast this morning. And again, this is 40% chance of Dexter becoming something for the National Hurricane Center. We are almost running behind. We're at 656. Ain't no weather in Jackson. Probably stole the radar system. You have to watch your hubcaps over there every once in a while. Watch where you buy gas if you're passing through. There's a lot of people that, after they get past Meridian, don't let out of the gas till they make it to Louisiana. We got to work on our reputation, don't we? We'll be right back as we'll begin this day. Y'all stay with us. We're going to learn about a way to go to school that could be better for you and your children. We'll learn about that coming up in just a moment. Odie's ready. He's over there tweaking.
Twerking.
You're twerking? Yeah. Is that what that is? We'll be right back at the top of the hour. Join us, won't you?